Breaking news now at 6:30. A family escapes their burning home in the Memorial area. Look at this video. We first brought you that video there live at 4:30. It took a while for firefighters to get it out, and here are live pictures now. As you can see, investigators on the scene trying to get a better view of the damage, trying to figure out exactly how this started. The newest message from firefighters this morning.
In court in Russia overnight, attorneys try to win Brittany Griner her freedom and get her back to the U.S. The newest tactics to get her back home.
And a blocked sky 13 this morning, looking at the backups caused by a stalled semi-truck. And boy, this is the Katy Freeway eastbound at Highway 6. We'll check in with Tammy in just a few minutes.
Also, weekend closure to tell you about along the West Loop. This is a live picture near 59. Text out says relief is coming soon after this weekend's closure. We're going to help guide you around it. Plus this.
Somebody that lost their ostrich. Uh-oh, he taking off running. He moving now.
For the person recording, I want to say thank you. We have shown you police chases, but none like this. We have answers from Houston police on what led them to this emu, and I mean, yeah, it does look like an ostrich. You know what I mean?
Yes, it does.
And it's the chase for me. Run! This is great.
Watch the cars chasing after.
Here it goes. For the cars. Lights were on. I hope the sirens were on too. I'm having so much fun with it. It's Friday, everybody. I cannot wait until we get to that story. Those stories are never in Houston. That was in Houston.
I was going to say, proud. I can't believe that's local.
I'm a proud Houstonian.
Yes.
Good morning again on this Friday morning. I'm so excited.
We got that vibe going on. You can definitely feel it. I'm Rita Garcia. Before we get to that emu and what went down with that chase and whether or not it's in custody, we've got to get to meteorologist Kevin Roth.
Yeah, and just to bring up the mood even a little more, look, we've got some rain chances today. Through the morning, most of that is along the coast. You see there around Galveston Bay, High Island, more around Matagorda Bay. By the afternoon, that starts to spread inland. So for today, we've got our chance for rain. By the weekend, I'm watching some of this Saharan dust. It's moved into the Gulf, and it is headed this way. That dust, a little bit of a double-edged sword, because you don't want to be breathing it in, but it does inhibit storm development. So the good news here, no tropical development expected over the next 5 days. Tropics remain quiet, but as that dust moves in, those of us with asthma or allergies could be impacted. Dust should be getting here around Sunday, sticking around through Monday, and then thinning out by Tuesday. We have seen thicker plumes of that Saharan dust for sure, but if you have some of those respiratory sensitivities, you may notice that dust in the sky. We'll talk more about your rain chances coming up in just a few minutes, ladies.
All right, let's go up on to Sky 13, where we are seeing a crawl on the Katy Freeway this morning. We do need to check in with Tammy. Tammy, what exactly is going on here?
Samika, we have 2 stalled semis, and then also a third one was pulled over by police officers. That one is gone, but we still have the 2 semis that are just before Highway 6, causing major backups all the way to Highway 6. Your alternate is going to be the managed lanes or the feeder road. Of course, we'll let you know when it clears. Rita, Samika?
Sounds good, Tammy. Thanks so much for that. More breaking news here at 6:33. A family of 4 has a long day ahead of them after their house caught fire in the Memorial area.
Yeah, those flames were something else. We first showed you the live pictures as breaking news at 4:30 this morning. The flames were massive, and that is where we find our Courtney Carpenter there to check it all out. Courtney, gosh, you guys rushed to the scene. What can you tell us about the family?
Well, good morning, Samika and Rita. That is the great news this morning. A family of 4, their 2 dogs, their 2 turtles, all safe and sound here this morning. And this fire is completely out. Crews still here on the scene, but at this point, they're not even putting any more water on the house. It is completely out. They're just working to clean up. And you'll notice there are some arson investigators here now. That doesn't mean they suspect anything suspicious. Arsonists is just the team that comes in and works to figure out exactly why and how this fire started. But let's go and take a look at that video from earlier this morning. Here's what the fire looks like. You can see the flames just shooting up from the top of this house. Houston Fire got the call around 3:40 this morning. They say the homeowner in this case smelled the smoke and the smoke detectors went off. So that family was actually out in front of the house, safe and sound, when firefighters arrived. Now, the Houston Fire Department says this fire started in the garage. They say there is a car parked on the side where that fire started. So they're going to be looking into if that had anything to do with why the fire started in the garage. And then it spread over to the attic. That's where a lot of that damage is. And they actually say inside the house, there's actually not fire damage. The actual fire damage just in the garage and the attic, but of course the home heavily smoked and water damage a lot inside the home. Now, Chief Davis was explaining earlier, this fire was tough to put out. Some of the firefighters going through 4 30-minute tanks in the process while dealing with the heat and humidity.
We have really good gear in Houston Fire Department. And the core temperature goes up so much, and that's why you see them pretty much, they come out and take it off, and they'll breathe a little bit, then they'll put their coats back on.
Yeah, you guys can see crews are still out here now, really just the cleanup process going on at this point, and arson is going to be working to figure out what the cause of this fire was. The big takeaway, Chief Davis was saying earlier, smoke detector. He's like, we preach this all the time, but in this case, clearly saved lives. They did their job, this family and all of their pets, safe and sound this morning. Reporting live here in West Houston, Courtney Carpenter, ABC13, Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much, Courtney. To some more breaking news from overnight, a man was shot, and it may have been road rage. That's according to police. Jersey Village police officers say the 27-year-old victim was driving on Jones Road and 290 when someone hit him. He apparently got out, and someone from that other car fired several shots, hitting him once. He is expected to survive. Police say the shooter was in a lifted Toyota or Ford pickup truck.
Breaking from overnight, WNBA star and Houston native Brittany Griner back in Moscow in a courtroom there for day 4 of her trial. We've got ABC13's Bree Berry, who's live for us in our newsroom to tell us what happened. Bree?
Hey, good morning. So Griner was in court a little earlier than we expected, and it was fairly short. It only lasted about an hour, and they ended up asking the court to hold off on the rest of today's hearings for a later date in order to give her some more time to prepare for her own personal testimony. But of course, cannabis was brought up, and her lawyers actually alluded to the fact that she uses cannabis in order to treat some chronic pain. So we're going to show you some new video, but it is very similar to what we've already been seeing. We'll get to that video shortly, but in the video we see Brittany Griner, who is, handcuffed, led by guards, sort of in the same hallways we've already seen there in the Moscow courtroom, and also, that cage, right, that is so significant of her there inside the courtroom, very different than what we experience here in the U.S. Now, her lawyers did present some evidence, some medical permission from an American doctor for the use of cannabis to treat pain, and also in court yesterday, and there's that video we have for you of her walking into the courtroom again. And so, yesterday we heard from several character witnesses, right, for Griner, including a Russian teammate who said she was the leader of the team there in Russia. Also, the team doctor who said she had never tested positive for doping in the past while playing with the team. And also Brittany's lawyer, he said that Brittany is tired and that it was a very emotionally difficult day for her yesterday when she sat and listened to the testimony of her colleagues and friends. And then we got a chance to hear from a representative from the U.S. Embassy who basically said, look, these hearings have made it very clear how respected Griner is.
In the hearings yesterday and today, what became very clear is the tremendous amount of respect and admiration, both in the United States and here in Russia, where Ms. Griner has been playing basketball for 7 years, not only for her professional achievements, but for her character and integrity.
All right, so we expect to see her back in court on the 26th of this month, so just a short while away, and then we are expecting to hear from her directly, to hear that personal testimony that they've asked the court to delay, to give her some more time to focus on. We'll keep you updated on this story live in the newsroom. Bree Berry, ABC13 Eyewitness News.
All right, Bree, thanks so much for that live report. For the first time in weeks, Governor